All right, y'all, it's week 2, and today we're going to talk a little bit about fractional shares, which is something that Robinhood is doing. And it basically means that you can purchase a stock without actually paying for the full price of the stock. So in regards to that, I'm going to show you a little bit of how I purchase fractional shares. I just got off the waiting list on Robinhood, and that's, again, the app that I'm using for trading. And with this, you can basically be able to purchase a lot more high volatile stocks that you would not be able to purchase, let's say, prior to this actually occurring. So fractional shares is basically allowing you to, let's say you want to buy a stock of Amazon, but you don't have the 2,600 or whatever the price is currently at the moment. So you can just buy $100 worth of that. And this is kind of like how Bitcoin and cryptocurrency works, where you can just funnel your money from cash to cryptocurrency, because at the moment cryptocurrency is about around, let's say, like $9,000 to $10,000, right? So instead of having $10,000 to turn $10,000 cash into one Bitcoin, you can actually just turn $100 cash into a percentage of one Bitcoin. So with Amazon, I'm gonna actually buy that today. I've transferred some funds over, and I'm gonna show you a little bit about that. Before I go to that, I wanna talk about fathers. So Father's Day was this past Sunday. I'm a little late on, showing my appreciation and everything like that. I particularly don't celebrate Mother's Day, Father's Day, and stuff like that. I believe every day is Mother's Day, every day is Father's Day if you're blessed enough to have a parent. For me, at least, I like to relate it to this very famous guy named Robert Kiyosaki. He has a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you haven't read it before, if you haven't even heard about it, I suggest you really look into that. It teaches you very basics about money and the fundamentals of wealth growth. And he talks about, he had a rich dad and a poor dad. His poor dad was his actual dad that, went to school, did this and that. And his rich dad was his friend's dad that, taught him about real estate investing and all that. For me, in my case, what I have learned now after, 26 years of living is that my poor dad is my rich dad. My father came from Africa, came to New York, worked for people, didn't like that, came back down to Atlanta, Georgia, and started his own business, still working under people and stuff like that. Eventually he got his own franchise as a Dairy Queen, and then moved from that into real estate. And even to this day, I shouldn't be saying this, but my dad doesn't have no cash, no money saved up, because he knows money ain't shit. He knows having a whole bunch of cash ready to go is not the move, because what it's really about is cash flow. Cash flow in this sense is collecting rent, or if you're investing in stocks, is collecting your dividends and reinvesting those if you choose to make it a bigger mountain. But in particular, you gotta think of it like Monopoly, where it's not about goddamn doing stacking up money, because the money, if you realize inflation, then you're losing value. Every dollar that you save and you put into your piggy bank or you keep it under your mattress is losing 2% a year. So every dollar that you save is actually turning into 98 cents the next year, and even less and less and less, because 2% compounds yearly. So if you really want to, store or maintain, at the very minimum, maintain your wealth, you need to look into places that are earning you an interest at least 2% or more. Online savings accounts right now are actually under 2%. It's right around 1.35%. I use VIO online savings account. Right now, that's at 1.35%, and I use that just to store cash if I need it. Anything else that I need to invest into, I just put that into the market, because I know the returns are better. Especially knowing me, I'm a long-term investor. Again, I'll put the link for VO if you want to look into that. There's also this one thing called Fitness Bank, which basically motivates you to move to get a higher interest rate. So if you average around like 12,500 steps a day, you get a higher interest rate. If you do less than that, it's just a little bit lower. And it's just to keep you actively moving while your money's actively moving for you. Now, some of you guys, you work really hard, and you work hard for your money, which is great. More power to you. Me, I like to have my money work hard for me. Typical American or typical person that's working is working 40 hours a week, and that 40 hours a week is very finite and limited. If you're putting your money into investments, that money is working 24/7. Every day is doing something. The markets, yeah, they're only open from 9 to 4, but it's also off market hours that are also trading and everything like that. So if you're really thinking about investing your money, how to grow it, then follow along, share to somebody else that might be interested in this. and just follow on for the ride, because I'm going to show you the progress report again every week. I know I should have uploaded it yesterday, but you know, things went down this weekend where I was out of it. So today's Tuesday. I'm going to show you how to do the fractional shares later on, and we're going to see the progress report of what my portfolio looks like as of now. Thanks again if you're watching this shit, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know, or if you're just interested in like more specifics, contact me. Again, this is also archived on YouTube as well as Instagram. So if you're not watching on Instagram, you can watch it on YouTube. If you're not watching it on YouTube, you can watch it on Instagram. And that's what it is, bro. Here we go. All right, so this is the app. This is what it looks like. I just got off the wait list, so I'm gonna hit continue right here. Basically, you can either buy fractional shares by the dollar or by the percentage of the stock. You can go all the way down to 10,000th or 100,000th of the share. The transactions are rounded to the nearest penny, and you'll still get a dividend, basically meaning that, let's say you buy half of a share, that means whatever dividend it pays out, you just get half of that dividend. Now, these are just some of the, you know, fine print. If you want to look into that and read it, it's all there. Just, you know, safety precautions on just being more informed. It's very basic, nothing too extreme. And here we go with this fractional share buying. So I added $500 from the last week. So you can see I added $500 from the $12.05 that was remaining. So I got $512.05 now to purchase. I'm going to go ahead and buy some Amazon today. Amazon is currently at $27.81 at the time of this recording. And as you can see, Amazon always does fairly well. Regardless of what the economy is going through, it's always going to bounce back. It is a high volatile stock, but in the long run, if you're a long-term investor like myself, this is something you want to have in your portfolio just to add risk, but also to add growth. And, you know, it's never a bad thing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy, and I'm going to decide to buy in dollars instead of buying in shares because I want to use all $512 up. So I'm going to just go ahead and type in $512.05. And I'm going to review it, and it says swipe up to submit, but I'm going to see if I can actually change this to a limit order, see if I can buy it at a lesser price. So I'm going to put a limit order price in, so maybe let's say $512 and, oh wait, no, I don't think this is going to work. So yeah, so during this recording, I actually found out that you cannot buy limit orders with fractional shares. So if I try to buy one share at $512, that's probably never going to happen because Amazon's at freaking $2,700. So this is something that I learned in the process of doing this. So I'm just letting y'all know that you cannot buy fractional shares on limit orders. The only time you can buy fractional shares is straight up market price. So I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to go to buy in dollars because, you know, this is what it is. So I'm putting $512.05. This is all my funds. That means I'll get about 18% of a share or 18.42% of an Amazon share. I'm going to swipe up to submit. And that's pretty much it, y'all. The order is received. It's going to go right in. It's going to go into effect right away. And this is what the average price was for me. It was around $27.79. So I'm just going to continue to buy some more Amazon shares later on when I put more funds in, just so I can get that full stock. But even if you can't, you know, it's fine. Just keep consistently buying, consistently invest, and you too will see a lot of benefits. So now I have $0 in my buying power. These are my stocks again. This is my full portfolio now. And again, I'll put the list down below just so you can have it. So you can see that it's about, you know, almost 20% of my portfolio. And that's it, y'all. Everything's in the green today, so it's a good day in the market. But, you know, I still have orders that haven't gone through yet, so I'm hoping for, you know, a little bit decline. So good news, bad news, doesn't matter. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, leave a comment below. Also, if you're trying to get a free stock, the link for my Robinhood is below, where you can just, you know, copy that link and open up a Robinhood account. You can get a free stock. Why not get a free stock, you know? And thank y'all. I really do appreciate it. Some of these views are really, like, you know, getting there. So keep showing love, keep spreading it, and you know, we in this fight, especially my low socioeconomic people and communities of color. I really hope y'all are paying attention, because if we really want to make a change, it starts with ourselves. We need to really educate ourselves on how to create wealth, especially how to access capital and all that, which is stuff that I'll be getting into later. If you have any questions, again, DM me, message me, get in contact with me, and I will help you no matter what, whatever information I can give you. Also, do your own research. You know, if you really like learn by yourself, it tends to stick with you a little bit longer. And that's all for today. We'll see you next week.